Yeah, you can actually go to prison for up to 15 years for simply throwing a rock at a moving car in Florida. Did you know you could face up to 15 years in prison for simply throwing a rock at a moving car in Florida? Well, today we're going to be breaking down the serious penalties under Florida's deadly missile law and how one bad decision could change your life forever. I'm Attorney Adam Rossen, and I'm breaking down the charges you could be facing for committing the crime of shooting or throwing a deadly missile, aka Florida Statute 790.19. Now, in my previous videos, I've discussed about the history behind this uniquely Florida law. I talked about the elements, the actions that comprise the crime. There's other videos about defenses and this entire process. But in this video, we're going to specifically talk about the penalties. Now, this law covers shooting or throwing any dangerous object capable of causing serious injury or death into a building, a vehicle, a boat, an aircraft, or an occupied structure. And this law is unique in that the choice of word missile, it covers more objects than you might think. So let's talk about what these prosecutors are going to do, how they're going to charge you, and what these penalties are that you could be looking at if you're proven guilty. So the crime of shooting or throwing a deadly missile is a second-degree felony in Florida. Well, what does that mean? It means that you're looking at up to 15 years in prison, up to 15 years in probation, or any combination. It wouldn't be 15 and 15 for a total of 30. It would be something that's a total of 15 years and up to a $10,000 fine. Now, Florida has what's called the Criminal Punishment Code and the score sheet. Now, there's a severity system that ranks crimes from 1 through 10 and converts them into points, combined with prior criminal history, other offenses that you're charged with. You know, it's not that complicated, but it's a whole process. And this crime is a level 6 offense, and that gives you 36 points, okay? In Florida, if you have more than 44 points, it's mandatory prison. So what that means is this case alone, this charge alone, without any other additional charges or any other prior criminal charges, does not put you in the mandatory prison category just yet. But if there's other charges, if you've ever had any other prior convictions, then it's very likely that this charge will put you into the mandatory prison, whether it's a year and a half, whatever. Now, we have other videos on Florida, Criminal Punishment Code score sheet and how to get around those mandatory prison sentences. It's a little different than mandatory minimums. Those are two separate things. So watch those videos. We'll link those videos up as well. So that way you can learn about the Criminal Punishment Code score sheet and mandatory minimum. So most people want to know, well, is injury or property damage required to be convicted of this crime? And for this particular crime, the answer is no. It does not matter if anybody's injured or if there's any damage. Those are other crimes. So if somebody was injured, well, that could be aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. It could be attempted murder. If there was any property that was damaged, that could be criminal mischief, aka vandalism. But this specific crime of shooting or throwing a deadly missile into an occupied vehicle, structure, house, aircraft, etc., does not require that there's any property damage or any physical damage. So the act of simply throwing or shooting something dangerous, okay, even if it's possible that it could hurt somebody, right, it's enough. So what factors worsen these charges? If someone's actually injured, charges can get stacked. And these are the things that I talked about earlier, meaning it could be aggravated battery or an attempted murder. If a firearm was involved, there could be additional charges. There would be additional points on the score sheet. It could make it into the 10-20 life mandatory minimum law. And so this is why you need a good legal defense on these cases. And the shooting or throwing a deadly missile, it sounds funny, right? But remember, take your future very seriously because this is a very serious criminal charge in Florida. So how could this crime affect your life after the case is closed? Well, let's just say that it doesn't involve prison or jail time, but there's a criminal conviction, there's probation. Well, a criminal conviction would make you a convicted felon, which would prevent you from owning or possessing a firearm in the future, which could hurt your ability to vote. Felony probation is no joke. It's going to come on background checks. And let me ask you folks, if you see somebody who is convicted, even if they did probation, of shooting or throwing a deadly missile, well, you might have a second, or third look before hiring this person. You'd probably default to just saying no thank you. So these are very serious charges that can affect somebody and their future for a very long time. Okay, if you have this, if you're watching this, because you have this charge or a friend has this charge and you want to know more information, well, keep watching our video series on this. And if you need us or have any questions, give us a call here at the Rossen Law Firm. We're here to help good people when bad things happen. Call us at 754-206-6200 and we'll give you a free case evaluation and discuss everything that you need to know about your case.